Halloween Haunted House and Bank Robbery Mystery by Kyle K. Available at Amazon.com. Early in the morning, two crooks escaped from Prison Island by boat. They eventually found a ghost and a vampire costume and stole a car. In Lego City, everything was normal and calm. The sun was shining and the weather was warm. Nobody would have guessed the bank would soon be robbed. Suddenly, the two crooks arrived at the bank. The crook named Vern disguised himself as a vampire and waited in the getaway car. Greg wore a ghost costume. Give me all the money, gold and jewels," yelled the ghost to the frightened people in the bank. Greg and Vern quickly drove away from the bank with their stolen loot. The police arrived, but they were too late. The vampire and ghost had gotten away. Today is Halloween, so there will be many people that are dressed like ghosts or vampires. What do you want to be for Halloween? Jack and his friends were getting ready for Halloween. "I'll be a knight in armor," said Jack. "I'll be a bull," said Marcel.
"I'll be an alligator,"
said Bob. They put on their costumes and were ready to go trick-or-treating. The bank robbers stopped on a hill and got out of the car and looked around. Suddenly they noticed an abandoned old house in the distance. The old house would be a great place to hide in. Does an abandoned old house sound scary? They drove up to the gates of the old house. The gate was very difficult to open, but with a loud, spooky, creaking sound, the ghost opened the gate. They drove beyond the gate and parked their car where nobody would see it. Greg the ghost said, "I'll put some fake cobweb spray on the gate and an unfriendly keep out sign. People will be too scared to come beyond the fence." The cobweb spray made a loud shh sound as it sprayed spooky-looking spider webs. Would you be afraid to open the gate? The house had a large greenhouse for growing plants. However, most of the windows were broken. The only thing that seemed to be growing was giant spiders, wild pumpkins, and weird plants. Are you afraid of spiders? The vampire went up the rotten, creaky old stairs. It squeaked every time he moved. Eventually, he reached the top of the tower and a door that opened to a balcony. "This is perfect. I can see for miles around," said the vampire. Would you walk up the squeaky stairs? There was a creepy old kitchen with broken windows and cobwebs. Whoever used to cook in this kitchen was very messy. There was sticky stuff all over the cupboards and tables, and there was dirty dishes in the sink covered with flies. The kitchen smelled of rotting garbage. What would your mom or dad say if you made a mess in the kitchen like that? There was a baffling bedroom with no bed or any toys. Instead, there was a large safe with a lock. "We will put the treasure chest here and look for the key to the safe," said the vampire. Do you have a safe in your bedroom? It was getting dark and the robbers were becoming tired. There was an empty coffin leaning against a wall. "I need to find a place to sleep. This coffin is perfect. It looks so cozy. I will crawl in and close the coffin lid. No one will dare bother me," said the vampire, and he went to sleep. The ghost was keeping watch and planned on scaring people away if they were brave enough to enter the house. Would you enter this house? Jack and his friends left early to go to an old mansion they heard stories about. The house was said to be haunted. This would be their first and last place they would visit for Halloween. Jack and his friends made it to the gate and noticed the cobwebs.
"I don't think anyone is here, and we should go. This place looks haunted, especially with these big cobwebs. I'm afraid," said Bob.
"The cobwebs are fake. These people want visitors to come into their haunted house. Let's go inside," said Marcel. They opened the gate and walked to the house. Would you open the gate? The boys noticed the pumpkin patch.
This is strange. There are pumpkins, but nobody carved them into jack-o'-lanterns, said Jack.
I think they want to make the place look abandoned, that's why they didn't carve them, said Marcel. Do you think it is scarier that the pumpkins were not made into jack-o'-lanterns? The greenhouse was the first room to be entered.
These spiders are huge, and there's a weird plant in the corner. I'm scared,
yelled Bob.
These are all fake. Don't be afraid,
said Marcel. Jack was convinced that the spiders were real. Let's go to another room, said Jack. If you saw giant spiders moving around, would you be scared? The creepy kitchen had a green glowing light and was a nasty mess.
What is that sound your shoes are making?
Asked Bob.
They must have put syrup on this floor. That's why it's so sticky. Some people really decorated this place,
said Marcel. It really feels haunted, said Jack. What would your mom or dad say if you spilt syrup all over the floor? Bob was becoming very frightened. He hoped Jack and Marcel wouldn't notice how scared he was. Bob was taking lots of photos and videos with his phone, posting them on his school and family websites. He hoped his dad would notice and come by soon. What do you do when you are afraid? They entered the bizarre bedroom and found a treasure chest. Maybe this chest was full of candy, a prize for anyone brave enough to go this far into the haunted house. Jack opened the treasure chest. It was full of money, jewels, and gold. But no candy. Would you prefer gold or candy for Halloween? The ghost heard the loud creak of the treasure chest opening. Quickly, the ghost ran into the room and yelled, "Boo! Leave this place and never come back!" The boys ran out of the house screaming in terror. Would you leave the house or would you stay with the ghost? Bob said,
"Let's leave. That ghost is mean."
Since when do ghosts have money, gold, and jewels? Maybe they have stolen treasure,
said Marcel.
There's only one way to find out. I'll make a trip line. A ghost will float over the rope, but a crook will trip and fall,
said Jack. Do you think a ghost would trip and fall? Jack quickly strung a rope across the steps and said, Marcel, you will go back into the house and get the ghost to chase you outside over this trip line.
Why me? Why don't you two go back into the house and you both can anger the ghost,
said Marcel. Would you go back into the house?
I'm busy taking pictures,
said Bob.
I'm installing the trip line. It was my idea, so your fair share is going into the house to anger the ghost, said Jack.
Marcel didn't seem so brave now. Rather reluctantly, he opened the door and entered the house. Who would you want to be? Jack, Bob, or Marcel? The angry ghost chased after Marcel. Marcel jumped over the trip line, but the ghost instead fell with a loud crash to the ground. The ghost costume fell off, revealing the bank robber. The three boys became scared of the very angry and dangerous bank robber staring at them. What would you do about the bank robber? Suddenly, there was a bright flash of blue and red lights as the police arrived. A policeman grabbed the first crook while another officer went inside to look for his partner in crime. Bob's dad had called the police when he saw the videos and pictures. It was late and the evening was over. There was no time for any more trick-or-treating. No one got any candy. Would you prefer adventure or candy? The next day, everyone read the newspaper about Bob, Jack, and Marcel solving a crime on Halloween night. Several of their classmates shared their candy with the three boys. Would you like to be in the news or have a bag of candy? Mr. Kyle, the owner of the Lego City Bank, texted and called the three boys to come by for an important meeting. Mr. Kyle had a surprise for Marcel, Jack, and Bob. What do you think the surprise will be? Mr. Kyle presented Marcel, Jack, and Bob with a check for $500.
and a treasure chest full of candy. They won the contest for being the most outstanding citizens of Lego City. What a wonderful surprise! They all shared the prize evenly. There was so much candy, it was amazing. Marcel, Jack, and Bob decided they want to share all their candy with their classmates. Friendship is all about caring and sharing. The end. Wishing everyone a safe and happy Halloween. I hope you enjoyed this book. And if you did, I have several other books which will soon be posted on this website. And make sure you subscribe and check out the other videos. And as always, have a happy and safe Halloween.